Hello everybody, it's Limor here, and I promised you a last video finishing actually our Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft Gelato kit that some of you had purchased. So we did all of this class on Ustream, and I'll post the link below to the Ustream class. It's a little bit long, it's about an hour and a bit. So if you feel like going through it, you can. And we did all these different techniques using this one set. So, you know, we started with some drippage and how to create that effect so that they don't muddy up. We did a little bit of blending and a little bit of texture and how to color the texture so that it doesn't muddy up as well. We did a little bit different type of blending on here with some collaging. And then last but not least, we did a little bit of masking and lots of layering, okay? And I left the backs of these because I figured these are ones that, you know, I want you to try. But I wanted to do one last one since the journal board has, what is it, 6 pages? 6 pages. So we're going to do this one, and this is the set that we've been playing with for those of you that don't have it. It's called the Mix and Match 50s Diner by Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft. And it's got some beautiful colors. I have mine opened right here, and we've got the Aqua Dolce, sorry, I'm off camera, Aqua Dolce, Squid Ink, one of my favorites actually, and we've got Blood Orange, as well as Banana. Okay, so those are the ones that are in this kit, and the kit also comes with this stipple brush, which is super fun, and then a blending tool, and if you don't want to use your fingers for blending. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of a spray effect, and it's okay that there's some gelato on there, it's not a big deal. So this is technique I've done before, and by the way, also in your kit you have glaze, gel medium, and gesso, and I have my big ones here that I'm using right now just for the purpose of the demo, but you have more than enough to create all these techniques with your kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy. This is just a dropper, and you can get this from Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft, but really you can get these anywhere. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take this guy. This is one of the tools from Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft too. It's super fun. We're going to create a spray. Actually, I'm not going to use the Squid Ink. I am going to use this blue one, which is the Aqua Dolce, and I'm going to open it up just a bit, and then I'm going to slice some of it, just like that. Okay, so now I have a nice little chunk, and it's not going to go anywhere. And I love the way it cuts because it cuts it perfectly that I can continue to play with it. And then what you're going to do is, I like to take, you know, really anything. You could take a brush, like you could take the end of your brush, and really I'm just going to squish it all about. But in order to help it squish a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of water. Since we're making this into a spray anyway, it will start to dissolve in water. So what you can see here is I have done a dropper of the blue and the red, which was again the Blood Orange and the Aqua Dolce. So, and I've left these two without doing anything on them. And so I've shaken it really well, and I've squished it really good. I dissolved it in the water, and now what I want to do is I want to change the color up just a little bit. So what I'm actually going to get is my gesso, and with your kit, what's going to be so easy for you, that's a little bit harder for me, is that you get yours in a squirt bottle. So you're going to actually go ahead and be able to squirt the gesso right into here. I'm going to have to scoop some up. So I'm going to use, you know, one of these. Okay. And I'm going to take a little bit of gesso and add a little bit to my, not too much, just a little bit. Close it up until you do the other one, and then we'll add a little bit more water. This one is pretty diluted, but we're just going to change the color up just a tiny bit. So we're going to add some gesso, and we're going to close this up. And now we're going to add a little bit more water, almost water all the way to the top, and you can just open your spray bottle and dump some more water in there, just like that. And then you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to stir it up, and then you're going to get a little bit more of a pastel beautiful blue. And this is just another way for you to change the colors, right? If you have, you know, only one set. So you can get a nice little variance of colors. Okay, so that's that one. We're going to transfer it into a spray bottle in a moment. And then this guy, you also want to stir it up. So you're going to take your brush and you're going to, it's almost going to be like a pinky red. This bottle had a little bit of yellow, so it might turn it a little bit orangey, which is totally okay. It's mixed media. You're allowed to have all color variations. It's just beautiful. Okay, so that's really great. So now we have quite a bit toned down colors, which is beautiful, really nice pastel colors. So we're going to take our board. Oh, actually, before I do that, we want to take our fabulous misting bottles, and these already have water, so I'm going to dump that right into here. And then because these are droppers, it is so easy for you to just fill these up. Okay, just like so. How easy is that? So I highly recommend these because this technique will become so easy. Okay, and then you can even, if you have a little bit left, you can just dump it right in there. Okay, and then just wash out your bottle because you do have gesso in there, and the gesso tends to kind of gunk up a little bit. So you definitely want to clean out your bottle after you do that. I have some water in there as well. I always keep water in my little misters for when I'm creating. Okay. And I didn't add a whole lot of water to this color, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. Just a little bit of water. There we go. And we are good to go. And there is the dropper. Let me shake it up and come right back. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your yellow, which is your banana, and you're just going to apply a little bit on the top and the sides, just very rough and randomly. Okay, just like so on your board. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your blending tool, and you can certainly add water or not, and I'll show you both and what it looks like. So this will be without water, and this is kind of what you'll get. Okay. You can kind of get this really beautiful little variance of color. Shading, right? Just like that. Really pretty. And you can get rid of a certain part of the lines, but you'll see that even with this type of technique, that line will still kind of show. Now, if you were to grab some water, it's a little bit differently. It starts to react more as a watercolor effect. And the blending becomes significantly easier, as you can see. And so I tend to really like the water, but you also get a little bit more of a diluted color. Not too much, but a little bit more diluted. So it really just depends on the type of, you know, technique that you're going for, the type of look that you're going for, I should say. Okay. So this is the effect that we're going for. And you can even add a little bit of water to the board, and that'll just help continue the blending process of your gelato. And this is what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm just allowing it to blend a little bit, just like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is a Tim Holtz stencil, one of the new ones, and this one is called Splatter's Layering Stencil. Okay, and we're going to go just like this. Actually, we're going to have him go right on the top here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that red one that I had created, that red spray. Okay, and make sure this is really nice and down. Don't go crazy. I always spray off and then spray on. And then a little bit right there. Okay, just like that. And then lift. And then you have a really cool splatter mark, and you've just made your own spray, right? Which is, if you look at our past pages, the color is a little bit different. Okay, so you see how you change the color up quite a bit. So you can do the same thing on the other side. So you can move your splatter mark around and then do a little bit more. Don't go crazy with the spraying, or it's going to start to go underneath the mat. So you certainly don't want to do that too much. Okay, just like that. Fabulous. And this, I always like to take, I always have an art journal beside me. So this is a little art journal, and what I do is if I have any excess, I just go ahead and literally apply the excess right onto my page. And I close it up, I squish it really good, and then I can go ahead and pull this off. And I have a really cool effect for another Mixed Media Friday that I will do soon. All right, so there's that. Now we want to heat this up a little bit. So now that it's nice and dry, okay, you can see really cool. And I actually like that mark that we had created earlier. Now you can go ahead and you can take that blue, and I made it really light because I want it to be subtle on my page. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray. I want it to be like a really light sky blue. Okay. And blend right in. Can you see that? I know the camera picks it up as white, but it's actually a gorgeous light baby blue. Okay, and it blends. It almost creates a little bit of a green with the yellow. It's just a little bit tough to see on camera. I'm going to go ahead and heat this up, and I'll be right back. Now that it's fairly dry, I'm going to take a second stencil, which is called Eye Chart by Tim Holtz as well. And I love these stencils. They've become my new favorite things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right on top of the stuff that I made earlier. And I'm going to take my gelato, which is the squid ink, and I'm going to take the Aqua Dolce, but just as is instead of in the spray. And I'm just going to go right in there, and I'm not going to do the full thing, just in certain spots, just like so. Okay. Because what I want is I want to create a two-shaded effect with the blue, and I have to actually open this up a little bit since I cut some of it off. And just get right in those cracks, and you're going to blend this in just a moment. And you can continue as you go. So one of the things, you can take your blending tool and you can clean this off. I have another one here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that for the purpose of the video. But you could also, I'm going to show you, you can actually do this with your finger. So if you do the dark first and then clean your finger. So let's do the dark first, which is the squid ink, and then we'll blend in the blue so that it doesn't overpower it completely. Okay, just like that. And you'll see the finished effect in just a moment. So now I always have a little baby wipe with me to wipe my fingers when I'm working with gelatos. And then now I'm doing the blue. Okay. And if you get a little bit of the gray on you, just clean your finger. Okay, easy peasy. I'm gonna need a little bit more blue right there. Get right underneath the cracks. Just like that. It's not going to be totally perfect, but it's going to be awesome. And then you can go ahead and lift, and this is what you're left with. You have a cute little variance of color. Okay, so you can see the difference in the blue and the blue. It almost, I mean, I know on camera it shows up as white for whatever reason, but it is a beautiful little light baby blue. So in real life, you can actually, you'll be able to see the difference. So it's a nice little technique, really, really easy, nothing difficult about this. And then you can go ahead and take your backside and you can practice again using maybe different colors. So that is it. I'm going to go ahead and post the link again below for the class that I did on Ustream, and you can take a look at all the other different techniques. I hope you learned something today, and if you want a question, if you have a question, please leave a comment and I will try to answer it as soon as possible. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.